You then have to pitch the ball inside 20 feet, hold a 4-foot putt. If you do that, you're safe. Back to back, you got to do them back to back.
I hope this place has lights. All right, so today we are with Ian and Zach from Game Like Training, and if you guys heard the podcast just a couple weeks ago, it interests us so much what they're onto here and the way that they specifically are doing training. We had to come see it firsthand.
Awesome.
So today we're at Champions Gate, the David Leadbetter Academy, which, by the way, beautiful facility.
Thanks. The best.
Unbelievable, and this just opened, right?
Yep.
A couple days ago.
Wednesday was the ribbon cutting of the new facility.
So we're here just in time. We're here just for you guys.
Just for you guys.
But this is something special. A lot of you messaged us, a lot of you emailed us and just said, wow, you know, I need to know more about this. The variability training, we talked about the book a little bit, but there's nothing that's going to compare to seeing it firsthand. So Ian, if you could tell us a little bit about what we're going to do today.
Yeah, so I'll start with like an analogy. I think a lot of the time in golf, people that want to get better like yourselves, they go and they get a diagnosis of their golf swing, but they don't actually get how they're going to train to resolve the issue. Right. It's a bit like if you went to the doctors and said, hey, can you x-ray me?
Yeah.
And he x-rays you and he goes, yeah, your arm hurts. And then you leave, right? You need some form of prescription or medication or something to do to resolve that issue. So what we're going to do first off is Zach's going to assess your guys' golf swings.
Okay, good luck.
And that will give you the what. That will give you what you need to change. And then together, myself and Zach, we're going to create a training circuit that will give you the how. This is how you have to practice if you want to make that change. If you want to train to learn, you need spacing, you need variability, and you need challenge. So we're going to inject spacing, variability, and challenge into your practice. Yeah. And then the science and research suggests if you stick to this over time, that swing change you're trying to make, it will stick.
I apologize in advance. I mean, you can take a nap in there, huh? That's pretty good.
Sorry, David.
I'm trying to keep it consistent, though.
Sorry, Mr. Leadbetter.
I mean, you guys do a good job of making my job easy. We have one side of the coin to the other side of the coin. We've got one that gets steep and then narrow and then flips it, and then we've got one that gets steep, stays steep, and then digs a hole in our range. So, to help Mike, we've decided to focus on his trail foot and how he's going to push out of the ground to help shallow the club. I think a lot of times everyone focuses on the club. What we're going to do is really focus on the body to allow the club to react to what the body's doing. So the first station is going to be a slider drill to help him learn how to push out of the ground. We're then going to do some stuff to help you understand how to use the club. Simple little half swing drill where we take the information from the slider drill, transfer it over to the range, and then we're going to do a band drill to force you to have to learn how to move. And then we're going to put it all together into a station that's Ian's, which is sandwich training. So you're going to have to learn and relearn the skill as many times as possible. So let's head over to the slider and we'll show you guys how it works. So you're going to start to understand how to shallow the club. So go to the top. And I want you to now, your job is to feel like you push the slider that way, right? And you see how your body goes this way? Yeah. That's why you're steep. So now I want you to push the slider, but feel like your shoulder stays a little more level. So as this pushes, you're going to swing down. So put it right in the middle of your foot again. Good. Go to the top, and you're going to feel like when you push this way, you swing forward. So let me show you. So if you watch me, you're going like this. Trying to push it, right? I'm going So this pushes at the same time I swing.
Got it.
You're gonna come here and you're gonna try and feel it. And then when we go and hit balls, we're gonna talk about what it actually would look like if you were filming it. But here, your job is to try and figure out how you can push that skate the fastest and the hardest without feeling like you're just shoving your body this way. It should be that the skate moves to the right and you stay on top of it with your body, not just shifting your center of mass to push it.
I got it. Okay.
Make sense?
Makes total sense.
And you're gonna stay here and go ahead and push that. Yeah, there you go. I want you to feel like you push in the ground and then you turn.
Okay.
Awesome.
How's the groin?
Everything is a little hurt. Wow, that's crazy.
So one really important thing to create an effective learning environment, and this could be, if I could give one tip to a golfer in practice, this is what it would be. I would do this. Pick these up and I'll put them here. Okay? So now you know station 1 is an awareness station. Station 2, you're going to hit 3 balls. So what you're going to do, you're going to take those 3 balls. So you will come back, pick the 3 balls up, and you would place them like here. And the circuit that's been designed gives you a specific purpose to hit those 3 balls. Okay. Because what we would tend to do is we're going to hit ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, and if we hit ball 3, rubbish. Okay, ball 4, rake, hit, ball 5, rake, hit, and then before you know it, you've got no purpose to your practice. So having these 3 balls here reduces that tendency of you breaking away from deliberate practice and just starting to rep ball after ball.
Yeah, okay. All right.
You know, it's kind of funny. After our podcast, one of the guys in the Facebook group, he said just that one change completely changed how he felt, how effective his practice was. Now, all the other things out of it, just taking one ball at a time and going and getting it, completely changed the dynamics for him.
Probably because there was space now in between each rep. So when he returns back, he has to complete the whole process of the shot, because he's not just now that extra space. He has to complete the whole process of the shot, and also if he was successful on the previous shot, that little bit of extra time challenges his brain to work harder to recall it. So that's what, and the research on this is so powerful, but yet unfortunately the way that we set golf ranges up doesn't help that. So you have to manipulate the environment a little bit yourself.
Yeah, and that's an easy enough manipulation.
Easy.
Come on, we can all do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in the second station, you're going to take that feel of pushing out of the trail foot and feeling like the club's actually getting wider away from you while your body rotates. And the easiest way to feel it is that you're going to go halfway. You're going to stop here, and then you're going to start the downswing by just imagining that you still have that skate, and you're going to rotate to a finish where your right heel's still on the ground.
Okay.
We could hit 3, 4, 5, 6, and all of a sudden, you'd think I was the man. But if I let you do that, I wouldn't be letting you learn. So what you have to do is, as soon as you're about to get it, we're gonna move you to the next station. Because then, we're gonna force you to have to learn and relearn the skill as many times as possible. Now you have to try and recreate those feels before you hit this last ball. Now trail foot and go.
When you come for a golf lesson and you're working on your golf swing, the goal is a movement change. You're training to learn. You're trying to change the connections in your brain. And the outcome of the shot degrades learning. Because you failed to make the move there. Now if you'd have hit a nice big draw, you'd have been like, yes, because you're judging it on ball flight, you're not judging it on the movement. So it's very important that you don't judge the success on the flight of the ball. And it's the same when you flip it. If you hit it terrible, it's not like, oh man, this doesn't work. It's actually your movement's changing. It takes a long time to change a motor program. So for anyone that's practicing and trying to change their golf swing, the key is not to judge it necessarily on the ball flight. If you're trying to change movement, you got to judge it on the movement. So that's why these stations are they're training you to learn a movement. They're not at the minute training you to hit good shots. That's a circuit that's more performance orientated. That's down the line.
Be the best drill for you because you have two things going on, right? We're trying to teach you how to push out of the trail foot, but the reason why you're still hitting it fat is what this lead arm is doing. So now you're gonna walk out until this band almost pulls you back towards the tent. You're gonna, again, recreate the feel with the slider. So you're gonna push out of that trail foot until you feel the lead arm pinned on the chest. Then you're gonna grab on and you're gonna move into impact. And you're gonna tell us what you feel versus what you think you're supposed to do. Make sense?
Yep.
So in the other stations, you were still trying to make a golf swing. This one, I think, is gonna take that away and we're gonna see the biggest learning. Okay. So go ahead and grab it with just your left hand.
So here.
Taking the golf club out of your hand actually is going to allow you to learn how to swing the club. Because when you're gripping it, you go back to all these old tendencies, and when you were hitting it fat, you were like, well, you made me pause at the top, so I had to download the 1,000 thoughts in my swing. Now that you're using the band, you're just allowing your body to react to what you're trying to do. Until you feel like you've started, you've rotated and that arm's pinned on the chest, you grip it, and then you come in, that's one. And you have to get three in a row that meet your standard. Not my standard, your standard. Okay.
And then the last station is 2 balls, right? So you're gonna get this feeling, 1 correct, 2 correct, 3 correct, and then you're gonna be like, right, let me hit a ball.
Right.
But now you're gonna walk over there, get your 2 balls, and by the time you've got your 2 balls out, you're gonna be like, oh man, what was the feeling again?
Right.
But that's what learning is. That's where learning happens.
That's cool.
It's so cool.
Yep.
All right.
You're gonna make 3 practice swings
Okay.
per ball. The first swing is every feel that you've collated from the circuit. You're gonna do it real slow. And you're gonna try and transfer it without like a full golf swing, real slow, working on what Zach wants you to transition into your swing. The second swing, you're gonna go back to your old swing and feel what that feels like.
Okay.
The third swing, you're gonna go back and try and get those feelings that you've been learning through the circuit. So in effect, it's good swing or improved swing, old movement, improved swing. If you're successful, then we add the ball and you'll hit the ball at like 20% speed. We're sandwiching the old swing or the old movement pattern in between the desired movement pattern. I've done this with students and I've actually seen them start to struggle to access the old movement, swing 2. They start to have to think more to access the old movement, and the movement you're trying to move away from starts to look and resemble the one you're trying to move towards. So sandwiching the old swing, or the swing that you no longer want, in between the swing that you do want, very, very, very powerful. This one.
We missed,
Look at his face. You go.
All right.
But now, again, like
the old move was not cognitive. You weren't thinking about
that's
what you're
automated.
doing. Right.
Exactly.
So you're making you think about that move.
He is now very, very, very cognitive, and that causes stress, cognitive stress. Cognitive stress is how we learn. That's everything. That's why we need to create this organized chaos. So the engagement's there, the brain's engaged, because there's no such thing as muscle memory, right? Your brain, your muscles don't have brains in them.
Right.
It's cognitive stress that creates learning and changes the golf swing. That, remember, Matthew makes himself sound clever, synaptogenesis.
Right. So I remember from the podcast, of course.
So that's what we're, right now, we hope it physically and mentally tired, right? He's ready, like.
I'm gonna drag him out of here, look.
I want a real sandwich, right? And a couch.
Whoa!
Not bad, huh?
Whoa!
That says it all right there. That says it all.
Job.
Yeah.
Take him away, take him away. So that's the point, right? You've got to, now, man, that in that drill, you just started to pull all 3 stations and freaking we're watching, I'm a nerd, right? We're watching motor learning take shape right now. Your swing is changing. So guess what? Go hold a 6-foot putt, and you're not allowed to come back to the circuit until you've made a 6-foot putt. And I guarantee when you get back to station 4, you're gonna fat chunk the first one.
So just as he transitions over to his putt, which hopefully we'll see if he makes, if one of the viewers or the podcast listeners wanted to do it, would it look like this if they came down to see you, or how's that work?
We got the challenge point a little wrong. Unfortunately, this is a very similar circuit to what we put a tour player through.
Okay.
There's 4 stations, there's a 5th if you count the putt, and there's only 3 balls at each. So he's moving a lot. Like,
yeah.
If your listener who's an 18 handicapper wants to implement some of this, I would recommend maybe 2 stations, 10 balls at each. So the spacing, the variability and challenge is lower.
So that changes with the ability.
So the cognitive stress is lower. Right now, I'm really glad he got it on towards the end.
Putting him through it.
Yeah, he's really, in all seriousness, I just said the challenge point's a little high, right? You agree, Zach?
For sure.
Yeah, we give it, you come to David Leadbetter's, you get the tour experience, right? This is a tour play, this is basically a tour.
We wouldn't ask for anything less, that's right.
So the challenge, I'm already like, the challenge point's too high. If now I reflect, I would maybe do 3 stations, 5 balls at each. More appropriate for you.
Okay.
But 4 stations, 3 balls at each is kind of funny for you guys right now. Right. It's a bit hard.
Right.
But do you see if it was 3 stations with 5 balls at each, do you see how the challenge would be lower?
Yep.
So for your listeners, the 20 handicapper, the 18 handicapper, 2 stations, 10 balls, maybe the 6-foot putt is between each station. Something like that.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So similar philosophy, just a slight change in as far as how
the framework's the same,
right.
but you've got to adapt it correctly for the individual. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
And if I miss
on the first try, and then we'll stay here. I mean, we'll turn the lights on.
So we
if we need to.
We would make if the kids so when the kids will do this, the kids go through circuits like this. If they miss the 6-footer, they got to do a lap. Then their heart rate's high. So now there is even though you're technical training, we've got one little bit of performance in it. But again, you hit that last ball great. You kind of get in the movement. You want to get back there.
Yeah.
You got to earn the right to get back there.
All right. I think we should make him do the lap, but all right, that's no problem.
Okay.
Don't hit the same putt.
Move it out. Move
Not good performance. So don't hit the same putt. Yeah, good.
Here. Is that about right?
Yeah, that's good.
And again, that forces the whole process of the shot.
Right. Rather than just going on automatic and just trying to repeat it.
Boom!
There he is.
Slider.
Back to it.
There we go. So, not to big Zach up too much, but he gave a very, very important line. He said, start to prepare for me to not tell you what to do. So Zach was very, very active in the first round of the circuit, lots of feedback. Now a good coach will reduce feedback. Too much feedback from a coach, again, inhibits the learning process. So we should see Zach engagement get less and less, which is super hard for a coach because all you want to do is step in and help, but you have to sometimes resist.
Because it comes to a point where you're almost leaning on the coach as a crutch.
100%.
Rather than making your brain process.
And that's not even necessarily the guys that watch your channel.
Yeah.
That's all over the tour.
Yeah.
That's everywhere. That's everywhere.
Well, we're all human.
Yeah,
right?
it's what we want.
That's
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Smooth.
Yeah.
That was like, what just happened there? That was supposed to be the old way.
There we go.
Got it.
There we go.
Only the second time through the circuit, and you already had that like backwards bicycle moment, if you will.
All right, it's Frank's turn.
So
you're in for it.
Nervous after seeing them tie your mind like a pretzel.
But you're gonna love it.
But then it was just so promising at the end. I still can't believe that your move that has been so natural for so long felt unnatural to you. That to me is
wild,
that's what blows my mind, you know? Just by sandwiching it in between.
So Mike, your circuit was heavy technique, right? Real training to learn. For Frank, yes, there's going to be some training to learn, but we're actually making it more towards training to perform. So station 1 for Frank is going to be a band drill like you were doing, and then a shot at 10% speed. A band drill, a shot at 20% speed. A band drill, a shot at 40% speed. A band drill, a shot at 80% speed. That's station 1, and that's all the technique that you'll be getting.
Okay.
To come back round to practice your technique, you then have to pitch the ball inside 20 feet, hole a 4-foot putt. If you do that, you're safe. Back to back, you got to do them back to back.
I hope this place has lights.
And then the second one, you got to get it inside 40 feet to the 150-yard pole.
Yeah, man.
And hole a 6-foot putt.
Okay.
Back to back, and then you're safe. And then you'll go back to the technical station.
Okay.
So for you, less perceived technical work needed. So we want to try and help you evolve more of a performance.
Okay.
Dealing with adversity. You want to practice your swing, right? Everyone wants to practice their swing.
Right.
But, you know, for Mike, he had to earn the right with just a 6-foot putt. For you, you've got a lot of tasks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I like a challenge.
I'll pass you over to Zach, who'll do the station, and then all the tasks are really easy. We're just measuring your performance.
Very cool.
All right, Frank, I'm gonna go get dinner and a movie, and I'll come back and get you, all right?
Come on.
You're gonna go here. You're gonna set up. You're gonna go to the top of your backswing, and then you're gonna try and push the band away. So we're gonna walk out until as far as you feel like the band is trying to pull you this way. Your job is to keep the band in the same place, but rotate. So you're not letting the band go this way, but you're also not pulling the band this way. You're keeping the same tension on the band while you push out of the right foot and rotate your body.
Okay.
So we're eliminating the upper body and allowing you to understand how to transition with the lower body.
Okay.
You want to pull, which causes you to get steep, and then you go this way. And that's why you think you're shallow, but then sometimes hit those drop kicks. So you're now going to learn how to go to the top, keep the arms here, and use your lower body. And so you'll do 2 or 3 reps until you feel like you've done it 3 times in a row correct, and then you walk over, you do 10%, you come back until you've done it 3 effective reps, then you go back and you do the next percentage.
Gotcha. And effective meaning that I feel like I've made a good turn without changing the pressure.
Correct.
Feel what you felt. So you're gonna have practice swings. So feel what you felt on the band and 10% speed. Job. Awesome.
Okay. Leave this here, go back to the band.
Yeah.
Go back to the band.
It's amazing because a move like this, it doesn't look like a lot's going on. But the amount going through my mind right now, just to kind of feel that movement.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a lot. Pressure the same.
Now just recreate when you go into the ball, just recreate that and let the ball get in the way. Almost like there's no ball there, right? Just recreate
The same feeling,
same,
forget the ball.
the same thoughts and the same feelings.
Letting the arms free.
Good.
Okay. Back to the band.
Yep.
Hustle. Hustle. Alrighty, Ian, what do we got?
So Frank finished station 1, which was the technical part. He's now gone into the performance part. And a lot of time in golf, they talk about separating technique and performance. But actually now, what Frank could potentially be doing is what he was feeling and the decent shots he was hitting in the technical station, he might be joining the dots. So this is where skill transfer comes in. Having a bit more performance can really help him join the dots between his technique and the mindset and processes on how to access it, and help him transfer his range game to the golf course. Yeah.
Money.
There you go.
Got it done.
Yeah, man.
Love it. Love it. All right, I gotta sink a putt though.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's just go sink a putt before we lose this daylight.
Let's go.
There we go.
All right.
Back round to the band station. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go do my lap. I'll see you in a bit. All right, so Ian, Zach, we appreciate your patience, and like I said, we run out of daylight. Otherwise, I could do this for hours. It is mentally taxing,
Yeah.
but in a kind of a good way, almost like when you stretch and it hurts, but it feels good at the same time. That's the feeling I get from it. But so tell us a little bit more. If people are interested, they like what they see, how can they get involved in some way or manner or another with working with you guys?
So I think first thing is we'll send some information to you guys for a mail blast and free download, whatever it is that we can work out to
Appreciate
try
that very
and
much.
add some value. If people do want remote coaching, then myself and Zach will build an offer to analyze swings and build these circuits. And then if anyone wants to come to the Leadbetter Golf Academy and get this guy to work his magic on them and go through the circuit, then you know they can reach out and we'll give you guys the Instagram handles and the contact details.
And we'll put all that in the video description and everything for you guys for sure.
But myself, Zach, Matthew, and the other people that have been part of Game Like Training, and now obviously myself and Zach at the Leadbetter Academy, we're on a mission to help revolutionize the way golf is practiced.
Yeah.
Because if people get this and buy into it, they will start to get better and they'll enjoy this amazing game more. And that's ultimately
That's what it's all
what we're
about.
trying to create.
And I love the way you're doing it by approaching it by explaining it, because there's a lot to understand it, and you have a simpler way of explaining some very long and complex scientific.
We quite simple.
We just did it because we're simple and we had to explain it to ourselves.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
That's
taking
true.
that research and then putting it in to a form that's digestible, not just for ourselves, which is how it started, but then for everybody at home.
Great. Well, that's terrific. No quick fixes here. We got a lot to work on, Mike.
That's right,
We
man.
got a lot, but, but I think I got a clear understanding of where we need to do and what we need to know, where we need to be. So we'll be working on those circuits when we get back up north.
Awesome.
Guys,
Appreciate the
thank you
opportunity.
Thanks, man.
so much.
Yeah, it was
Thank
awesome.
you.
It was awesome.
It was really
Yeah, we
terrific.
enjoyed it,
We
man.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, we wouldn't let him go home without doing his lap. Come on, push it out. Push it out. Let's go. Grind it.